Is it true that in the Quran, or in the Hadiths, there are promises to those who die as martyrs for Mohammedan Islam that they would end up in paradise with unlimited sexual, carnal, and sensual pleasures for eternity, with 72 virgins?
The Quran is replete with verses promising the believers infinitely greater rewards in the afterlife than in life. Surah Al-Baqarah 2.25. But give glad tidings to those who believe and work righteousness, that their portion is gardens beneath which rivers flow. They are fed with fruits, and they have therein companions pure and holy, and they abide therein forever. Surah An-Najm 55:70. In them will be fair companions, good and beautiful, companions restrained as to their glances in goodly pavilions, whom no man or jinn before them has touched. The listener should be made aware that in the Quran and in Sharia law, the jinn, who are demons, are a race of fire, but are otherwise identical to human beings. They have intellect and can have intercourse with humans. They can be either believing Muslims or unbelievers. They too are predestined by Allah to end up in His hell or paradise. In the Bible, I would like to point out to the listeners, neither jinn, demons, nor Satan were mentioned as part of God's creation. They are in reality purely the product of human imagination. Muhammad's Quran promises his followers that by dying while slaughtering unbelievers to spread Muhammadan Islam all over the world, their rewards in death represent everything that they have lacked in life and more. Gardens, flowing water, greenery and shade, unlimited food, both in type and in quantity, unlimited sexual pleasures, both for those who prefer boys or those who prefer females, wine and luxuries. It should therefore not be a great wonder then that Muhammad's generally very gullible and ignorant followers would prefer to die than to live. Who would not if they believed all the above rewards? Al-Tirmidhi Hadith 3834, narrated by Al-Miqdam ibn Ma'di Karib. Allah's Messenger said, the martyr is married to 72 wives of the maidens with large, dark eyes, and is made intercessor for 70 of his relatives. Al-Tirmidhi Hadith 5648, narrated by Abu Sa'id. Allah's Messenger said, the lowliest of the inhabitants of paradise will be he who has 80,000 servants and 72 virgins. Muhammadan scholars indoctrinate their acolytes to commit slaughter and murder of all unbelievers in the name of Allah, with promises of 72 virgins based upon the above hadith. The same followers of Muhammad who, when alive and in the physical world, are allowed a maximum of 4 wives and a minimum of pleasures, since they are prohibited from gambling, drinking wine, singing, dancing, painting, wearing gold or silk, reciting poetry, playing chess, etc., etc., are allowed in death 72 virgins with unlimited sexual, carnal, and sensual pleasures. Muhammad's version of paradise becomes a whorehouse for those who commit atrocities against all humans who do not believe in Allah and in His Messenger Muhammad. All those murdered human beings are unbelievers in the first place because Allah preordained that they should be so. Hence, the merciful and compassionate Allah of Muhammad, who programmed them to be unbelievers in the first place, nonetheless consigns them to a predestined hellfire through no fault of their own, so that they would be slaughtered by the followers of Muhammad, who are then rewarded to paradise when killed during their missions of extermination. It should be pointed out that not once in the Quran nor in the Ahadith is there any mention that it was the angel Gabriel who informed Muhammad of such a reward of 72 virgins. It was Muhammad alone who promised his gullible and believing followers of them. Sahih al-Bukhari Hadith 4.544, narrated by Abu Huraira. They will not urinate, relieve nature, spit, or have any nasal secretions. The cult of Muhammad has no concept of the spiritual world. Those of his followers who die while attempting to slaughter unbelievers end up in a physical whorehouse type of paradise, with unlimited sex, food, and other carnal and sensual pleasures. With promises of such eternal rewards, one should not be surprised that the believing followers of Muhammad would commit murder, slaughter, death, and destruction upon all unbelievers to attain these unenviable incentives. These believers are never informed that in the Quran and in other hadiths, Muhammad utterly forbids committing suicide, and the penalty is to suffer in hell for eternity. Those who do so are generally ignorant believers who are brainwashed by totally immoral and evil Muslim leaders who indoctrinate them so as to fulfill their own political or sectarian agendas.